Hi there, I'm Mike and I'm the All Hallows Geek, and welcome to This Week in Eek, my weekly series where I put a little eek in your week by recapping some of the top stories in Halloween and horror news from the last week. Well, we're still about 2 months out from the Season 4 return of Stranger Things, but if you've been jonesing for something new out of Hawkins, Indiana, Netflix was kind enough to give us a small fix this week with the release of a handful of official first look photos from the upcoming first volume of Season 4. The new images feature all of your favorite characters along with some new ones, and showcase the darker, more serious tone of the upcoming season. The images also reflect the various locations the upcoming season will take place in, including the mysterious Creel House, which we were introduced to in the third teaser released for Season 4, and the frozen tundra of Russia. This image in particular of Joyce and Murray in front of the crashed plane has me wondering if this somehow ties into our friend Yuri, who, if you watched my recent unboxing video, was featured in a Stranger Things 4 teaser recording talking about flights to the Arctic. Perhaps this is Yuri's plane? I'm just speculating here, but it does seem plausible based off what we know. And if that's still not enough Stranger Things for you, I've got one more story for you that you might be interested in. This week, Ubisoft announced that Stranger Things would be coming to Far Cry 6 in the form of a crossover mission. Called The Vanishing, this new mission will bring a stealth horror survival gameplay experience to Far Cry players for the first time and will introduce mysterious characters and lore. In The Vanishing, players will enter a twisted version of the Yara inspired by Stranger Things' Upside Down, where Danny discovers that Yarans are disappearing. Set out on a mission to explore Stranger Things-inspired locations such as the hidden bunker and an abandoned laboratory and find out what happened to the abducted Yarans. If you play Far Cry 6, the new Stranger Things mission is available to you as of March 24th, but even if you don't currently play Far Cry, you're in luck. This weekend, the game will be available to play for free on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and you'll be able to play the core game as well as the Stranger Things crossover mission through March 27th. And in other video game news, Gun Interactive has given us our first glimpse at the victims you'll be able to play as in their upcoming asymmetrical horror game inspired by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, not that one. Yeah, not that one either. Yes, that one. The events in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game take place before the events of the 1974 film and revolves around the disappearance of a missing University of Texas student named Maria. With no leads in her disappearance, Maria's younger sister Anna and 4 of her college friends set out to follow Maria's last known tracks in hopes of finding something to move the investigation forward. But these 5 friends follow a bit too close and wind up the victims of the same group of people responsible for Maria's disappearance, the Slaughter family. Players will take on the role of 4 of these 5 characters, each of which has their own personality, backstory, strengths, and weaknesses. A mix of brains, brawn, resilience, and craftiness. Each character is capable in their own way, but is even more effective when teamed up with other players to help tip the balance in their favor. Fun tidbit about these new characters is that Gunn is making the characters canon by suggesting that this group of college students were the ones whose abandoned tent the group stumbles upon in the 1974 film. Kinda cool, nice way to tie it all together, I guess. And some friends of Gun Interactive were also in the news this week. Gunn was the publisher of another asymmetrical horror game you might have heard of. It's called Friday the 13th, the game. Well, the developers on that game were Ilphonic, and this week they announced an asymmetrical game of their own set in the Ghostbusters universe. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is a new 4v1 hunt or haunt supernaturally charged video game where players will be able to take on the role of Ghostbuster or a ghost. As a Ghostbuster, you'll strap on a proton pack, grab a ghost trap, and monitor your PKE meter as you and a team of 3 others set out to find and blast the ghastly ghosts terrorizing the public. As a ghost, you'll be able to scare unsuspecting victims, fly and teleport between rifts, possess objects, and if that's not enough to scare everyone, sliming and summoning ghoulish minions will. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed will be a cross-platform multiplayer game allowing anyone on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox to come together and cross the streams or spew slime, and it's set to be released sometime in Q4 of this year. And last weekend was the Trans World Halloween and Attraction Show, and for the event, Morris Costumes debuted 9 new Halloween animatronics for 2022. The new animatronics range from fun to frightful, with characters ranging from a whimsical scarecrow to this 7.5-foot tall hunking werewolf. The new animatronics are expected to be released later this year, and while I'd love to show them all to you here, you're gonna have to head over to allhallowsgeek.com to see them all in action. And with Toy Fair behind us, toy news has been a bit slower this week, but there was one story I know a good portion of you will be interested in. Last Friday, NECA announced that some fan favorite characters from Hocus Pocus are getting the Toony Terrors treatment. Winifred, Mary, and Sarah Sanderson will be available as separate 6-inch figures or as a window box 3-pack. Scorned lover Billy Butcherson is also getting the Toony Terrors treatment and will be available as a standalone figure. All 4 figures are available for pre-order now and are expected to begin shipping as early as August. And our last story of the week is fresh from the Nickelodeon Upfronts, which were held in New York this week. During the event, it was announced that the network's Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot was getting a 3rd chapter with Are You Afraid of the Dark? Ghost Island. The new season will premiere later this year on Nickelodeon and will be made up of 4 hour-long episodes. The new season features a new Midnight Society and will tell the story of a group of kids as they go on what they thought would be a fun summer vacation on a resort island until they learn about something sinister haunting the guests. Production on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Ghost Island has already begun in the Dominican Republic. That's it for this week. As always, if you enjoyed this week's video, give it a like, leave me a comment, or better yet, subscribe to make sure you always get your weekly dose of Geek. For more information on any of this week's top stories, you'll find links to the full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com down in the description below. Until next time, keep it creepy.